All right, we are green. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And I'm just going to walk through something with you. Guys, even blind squirrels find nuts every once in a while, because it turns out, a shocker, unbelievable, you'll never believe what they just found. Congressman Republican James Comer has said that the White House has been colluding through the Office of Gun Violence Prevention with Anti-2A groups in order to sue companies like Glock and destroy them from the inside. They are? I'm shocked. Everything that I've got for you guys is going to be linked into the description box below, of course. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. And if you guys are watching this live on the replay, make sure you also hit that like button, subscribe, and send this one out, because this is the kind of stuff, guys, we got to talk about it, because they're not going to beat them. We got to beat them for them. And speaking of beating them, look at this shirt. This is a limited time design. The kamikaze Kamala plane crashing into the ship of America, toting gun weapon bans all the way. It's available now. It's in the description box below. It's only available and limited through September 6th. So make sure you guys get that. It just sounds like hotcakes, and I appreciate you guys for supporting the channel with that. But if you're coming in, you are just in time, because we have got to talk about this right here, guys. This is you know, I didn't know how we were going to do it, but it turns out we figured it out about 3-5 weeks before. So let me know in the comments over here if you guys remember us talking about this exact same pattern of collusion about a month to a month and a half ago. So you just let me know right there in the live chat if you remember, because what we're going to walk through is a Republican's breaking observation. I'm laying on the sarcasm pretty thick here, like a thick layer of jelly, because duh, maybe they should just rely on us in the 2A space to do all the work for them, and they can just copy and paste what we do, because good Lord. Let's get into this. Harris-led office, ATF, stonewalling probe into collusion with anti-gun group in a lawsuit, House Oversight Chair. Now here's the giveaway. Both the White House and the ATF have turned down multiple House oversight inquiries into charges of collusion with Chicago's lawsuit against Glock. Weird. Let me just walk you through a few of the back steps. As you guys are getting in here, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You remember how Everytown for gun safety were the ones that were leading this lawsuit? And you remember how they were using the auspices of the Chicago government to do it? And then over here on this corner where you have the White House of Gun Violence Prevention, and I'm doing this from just memory, you have underneath Kamala Harris, was run by a guy named Rob, I'll remember his last name in a second. It doesn't matter. Rob Gun Controller. How he was from Everytown for Gun Safety, and he's actually number 2 in that organization. I'm sure there's no coordination at all between that effort. Then you've got attorneys general like Platkin in New Jersey, like the guy in Minnesota, the guy who Kia and Hyundai are too easy. Ellison, A.G. Ellison, who are, you know, they asked for the exact same thing, preserve your records. Yeah, I'm sure none of this is at all coordinated in collusion. But guys, at least they got here. At least they got here. And it's great to see all you guys in the comments. Let's keep on going. So let me show, I got a few things highlighted here, per usual. I want to run by you here. This is the charge. Vice President Kamala Harris is campaigning on what she characterizes as a record of a tough former prosecutor. But a White House office she has overseen may have focused less on gun crimes and more on targeting illegal gun manufacturer. I am shocked. I don't know. If you guys know a channel that's been covering this exact same thing, you just make sure you throw it down in the description box, because we've only been covering it and talking about it together, you and I, for about a month to a month and a half. Good giggly wiggly. Let's continue. The House Oversight and Accountability Committee says the Biden-Harris administration is stonewalling an investigation into potential collusion with a gun control group founded by billionaire former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg to boost Chicago's lawsuit against Glock Incorporated. Again, duh! The ATF most recently missed its most recent deadline to respond to the committee on Wednesday, August 28th. So in all seriousness, the committee that James Comer is running is saying we need documentation and response from the ATF, an executive bureaucratic agency, but they just ignored them completely. I'm sure that's nothing nefarious there. A couple more things. Let me check the chat here. Nothing will happen. Well, so hold on a second, Freedom. I'm not saying that something is going to happen. What I'm saying is they're just now discovering something that we did on our own with just you and me chatting about it months ago. They've got entire committees with subpoena power, and this is what they got. That's all I'm saying. Listen, private sector is very efficient. Let's continue, though. This is a quote. The American people should be very concerned that rather than prosecuting criminals, the Biden-Harris White House is colluding with anti-Second Amendment groups, and rather than responding to serious congressional requests with transparency, the White House is choosing to not comply with our request, Representative James Comer of Kentucky told Fox News Digital. No kidding, they're ignoring you. They've been ignoring you the whole time because you have no teeth, or at least you won't use them. The committee has been investigating the White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention's communications with the Everytown for Gun Safety group regarding a lawsuit by the city of Chicago against Glock, a firearms manufacturer. Now again, Everytown for Gun Safety is leading the charge on this lawsuit against Glock, trying to make Glocks illegal in the city of Chicago. And, then obviously everywhere else because that's what they want to do. You think there's any coincidence? Maybe a collusion? Maybe an operation? Nothing? How could they be supporting the Office of Gun Violence Prevention through the personnel internally and externally? Then you have the actual lawsuits being funded and organized by the actual lawyers at Everytown for Gun Safety through the city of Chicago, and you're wondering if there's collusion? Not, hey, there is collusion, here's what we're going to do about it. You're wondering if there's collusion? Good night, guys. I tell you, private sector is so much better than public. I'm just saying. Here's another quote, and then I'll get in some of your comments over here. The White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, overseen by Vice President Harris, is stonewalling the Oversight Committee's investigation into potential collusion, again, there's that potential word again, by White House officials with anti-Second Amendment groups, despite our multiple requests, Comer continued. They're being mean to me, and they're not listening, so I'm going to go to Mom, and then even Mom's annoyed because she's got her earbuds in. Goodness gracious, guys, this is killing me. But let's get down to really, I'm going to show you what this is in a second. I believe that's all the ones that, yeah, that is. This is what this is really about. Let me zoom out of here a little bit so we can have our full screen communication. And again, if you guys are just now tuning into the live, make sure you either rewatch this and send this out, or send this out and then rewatch it. Whatever you want. Here's the deal. This is political posturing. That's why I'm kind of a little irritated with sarcasm on this one. Because we've got a representative, James Comer, who is now saying there's a potential collusion with Everytown for Gun Safety, the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, and the ATF, when Everytown for Gun Safety is literally funding externally, supporting internally, actually driving the lawsuits in this case. And there's a question if it's a potential collusion. What do you bet? You know what? Let me go back here. I think there's something we can reiterate here. What do you bet it has something a little bit more about this than anything else? The White House's Office of Gun Violence Prevention, overseen by Vice President Harris, is stonewalling the Oversight Committee's investigation into potential collusion. What do you bet? This is a little bit more about politics and a little bit less about solving the problem. Because this has been going on, as I mentioned in the video. I wasn't tooting my own horn earlier. I was literally saying we've known this for a month and a half, 2 months. We discussed it. I've done multiple videos on it. I have a folder on my desktop that literally says Operation Glock. All of this stuff is easy and accessible to a public, individual, private citizen. Me, this guy. And you guys too, to be honest. But now all of a sudden, about 60, 75 days before an election, all of a sudden now it's about tying Harris to the violence prevention oversight, or gun violence prevention group. And now it's about the problem. It's not about the problem that we knew about for 2 months ago. And that's the big thing. The big thing that really bothers me is, and you guys know this, I do not like when the left does this with our gun rights, uses it as a political football. Say we're going to take all of their gun rights, so vote for us, and then there's a struggle and a fight. I also don't like when the right comes out and says, oh, those mean, nasty gun controllers, they're colluding, they're infringing on your gun rights, they want to take gun rights away, they want to do all these things, but we're not going to do diddly dick to stop it, but we are going to put out press releases coming up into an election. But after that, I don't know. We've only got a committee, the judiciary, the subcommittee, the subpoena power. But what can we do? I mean, after all, we're just congressmen. That's probably my biggest frustration. That's why I wanted to do this. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I hope that you enjoy these live episodes. They're always good for replays and playbacks. But thank you for being here. I thought it's something a little more fun. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.